All right, everyone, we've got head coach Pat Noonan following tonight's match. Coach, if you just want to start with your thoughts on the result.
Disappointing ending to a really promising start to the game. Disappointing certainly for the fans and what this means to the club, obviously. So that part hurts. I know the players are disappointed. We all are. So it's a tough night. We got to own it and move on from it because we got a quick turnaround in another important game. But we let that one get away with us from us.
We'll start with Laurel.
There's been a couple bigger games that you guys have given up those 2-goal leads. Is there anything that you attribute that to, just things that maybe could have gone differently?
No. Well, of course things could have gone differently. I don't attribute it to anything outside of this game. We started playing a little too direct. I think we lost our discipline and composure a little bit, and it allowed them to get into the game. But we also had a lot of transition moments where, we could have had a couple more goals, I think, in the first half. And some unfortunate, I'd say, deflections. We could probably step to the ball better on the first 2 goals. And then, an own goal where Miles is doing everything he can to defend the cross. So some unfortunate goals that we concede, and the opportunities were there. So I think we got unfortunate in a couple moments and didn't capitalize on some of our own.
Is there anything to just the idea of taking the foot off the gas after getting in those leads?
We'll see. I don't know. There were still a lot of good things. Taking our foot off the gas would have meant we stopped playing. We could have scored 2 or 3 more goals after the 2-0 lead. So I wouldn't say that's taking our foot off the gas. And Columbus is also a very good team. So they found their rhythm in the first half towards the end there. And so I wouldn't say it was foot off the gas as much as missing opportunities and them being good as well.
We'll go here to Carter.
Pat, getting off to such a hot start and then having to, see the rest of the game through with that lead now, how much did, I guess, maybe fatigue, mental, emotional, physical, play a role in tonight's match with the team?
I wouldn't say at 2-0 we're trying to see the game out. We're trying to continue playing. It's too early to try to see a game out. And like I said, there were moments to continue to play and attack and score, and we just missed out on some of those transition moments, the passes. And then I thought we rushed some plays where we were looking at shots from distance where we had more space to advance the ball. And then when we started playing more direct, I think we lost the rhythm because we weren't holding the ball, we weren't moving with the play, and then it allowed them to get control of the ball. So certainly you could see fatigue in some guys. They put a lot into it, and then we couldn't take care of the ball for longer stretches, I think, in that end of the first half, beginning of the second half stretch.
We'll go to Cameron.
In a game with so many swings emotionally, obviously going up 2 really quickly, them getting 2 before half, kind of how do you manage what emotions there might be out there, and then just kind of going into halftime, giving up those 2 goals, kind of what do you say to your group right then?
How do we put the score aside and continue to play? There's excitement, the crowd's into it, you got an early lead, and it's easy to lose some of the focus to continue to try to push in certain ways that I think we're maybe got away from how we prepared. But that's a conversation we'll have to talk through and see where our play got away from us that allowed them back into the game. But I'll go back to there was still plenty of moments. The guys didn't stop playing, but I think we stopped executing in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and then with Pavel, his impact doesn't always show up on the score sheet, but obviously he got a goal today. Earlier in the week, Albright, he mentioned Pavel as kind of the engine, kind of one of those, one of the best players on the team. Kind of, where do you see, how his impact? What does that look like? And then, getting rewarded with a goal kind of early on.
Well, he scores the first goal because he arrives in the box in a good way, and he's an engine in the midfield. Always puts in the work, always gives you everything he has. And so it's just the guy that leads by example and also, can make plays going to goal and can make plays defensively. So all around, strong performance from him, and he continues to be very important for us.
We'll go to Damon here.
Coach, sorry. The passing in the second half fell off quite a bit. A lot of passes were played either directly to Columbus or into an area where it was a lot more contested than it should have been. Was that a communication thing, or because it seemed like people were having trouble communicating to each other about where they wanted to be?
I don't think so. I think second half there were still plenty of stretches of moving the ball to try to break pressure defensively. I think they were strong in the second half, and decision making in the moment to understand where the space is to attack, where the advantages are. Just missed out on more of those in the second half.
And Evander was taking a lot of hits from the Columbus players. He eventually drew those 2 yellow cards for them, but he seemed to get pretty heated at the end of the first half. Did you say anything to him in the locker room?
I didn't need to. He was getting fouled, and he wanted to say something. He can control that moment with the official because he's on the field. So, he had a really strong game. Got into good spots, moved the ball for us in good ways, but, we didn't have enough going to goal, I think, in the second half.
We'll go to Justin there.
But the first half, particularly on the first and second goal opportunities, you really broke the back line of Columbus Crew with those passes down the channel. What do you think Columbus did tonight to maybe kind of mitigate that after those first 3 or 4 opportunities?
A little bit of both. I think we recognized the moment to play a long diagonal ball and attack the space behind. Lucas makes a good 1v1 play. Sometimes it's not about passing, it's about dribbling. And he found a moment to dribble to create that first goal, to open up the field and our ability to run to goal. I think, the game then, as it shifted the momentum, and they're in better positions, I think, to control transition as the game progresses and then pin us a little bit deeper. So I think that was the difference after the first 20 minutes was field position and understanding how to break pressure, and then when we did, making the right decisions, running a goal.
And then it just seems that the legs kind of were getting heavy toward the end.
Yeah.
I know there was a lot of those long diagonal passes and pressing and stuff like that in the match. How do you feel about the team's conditioning? I know we came back from that kind of weird break, resume break.
Yeah. For some guys, good. For some guys, there's more there. That's the game. It's humid out there. It's not like this is, ideal conditions, and that's not an excuse, but physically it takes its toll on guys with the adrenaline when you're defending for longer stretches and trying to get to the ball. So we try to get fresh legs out there to help us. But, I think the conditioning for the most part hasn't been a problem for us where you see guys cramping all the time. It's just controlling the rhythm of the game in ways where it doesn't get opened up and cause too much fatigue because you become disconnected with how you attack, and as a result, then you got to defend in transition in open space, and that's difficult against a good Columbus team.
We'll wrap up here with Marshall.
Coach, this stretch is a gauntlet. You lose this game, and now you have a really quick turnaround against another really good team in Miami.
Yeah.
What do you say to the team, knowing that you have to get ready for a Miami team on short rest back here?
Yeah, put the disappointment behind us, but we'll, like all games, we'll look at it and see, where we let it get away from us and how do we, eliminate giving up leads or giving up momentum. So it's a strong group, so we'll talk about it, and then we'll quickly move on and understand that we got an important game. Sometimes that can be, a positive where you get a chance to get out there immediately against a really strong opponent and make things better.
Pat, thank you very much.